Well, keep going. Now we have to get to John chapter 19. So go to the right. Next gospel, and this is the end. You don't have to turn any further. The last 3 words are in John's gospel. We listen to Jesus now from the cross, and this is what he says in chapter 19 and verse 26. Jesus now is addressing an earthly need. Remember I said most of his prayers are to God, but 3 times he speaks to people. And here is one of the speakings to people. Jesus, verse 26, therefore, when he saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, said to his mother, Woman, behold your son. And then, of course, to John to take care of her. What is this all about? Why is this in there? I mean, what is the emphasis of this? Well, what it's talking about is Jesus is expressing, he shares in our humanity. He knows our needs. If you know anything about that culture back then, a widow had a hard life. If her husband died, she was in trouble. She could beg or could go into prostitution. Those were about the only 2 businesses that were available often. And of course, knowing the law of God, she couldn't do the one, and so she became the other, a beggar. So you hoped in your oldest child that it would be a man, that he would provide for you. And Mary had that. Joseph wasn't around. He died somewhere in Christ's childhood. But Mary had this son. But yet she already knew the prophecy that he was going to die. And so there was always a concern with her. And so Jesus, knowing her concern, looks down at her and says, don't worry. You're going to be taken care of. John, take her and care for her. Take care of him as your own son. And he made that little connection right there. Why did he do that? Why do we have this drama of hell and the gates of hell and agony and eternal, all this is going on. And Jesus does that. Why is that? Because it says in Hebrews, a wonderful word, inasmuch as we are partakers of flesh and blood, he likewise shared in the same. Jesus is saying here, I share your humanity. I know your needs. I want you to know, I know what it's like to live on earth. I know the struggles you go through. I know the fears that you have. I know the pains that you have. Because it says that he partook of flesh and blood and was tempted in all ways like we are. And this is a word of comfort. That's what I have written right next to verse 26. The word of comfort. Jesus wants to assure me. He knows what it's like to live on earth. He knows what it's like to struggle with day-to-day needs. He knows what it means to face the same temptations we face. And he says here, I can help you. I can provide what you need, Mary, us this morning. Have you let Jesus speak the word of comfort to you? Have you committed, cast all of your cares on him? Come unto me, he said, all you who labor and are heavy laden, I'll give you rest. Take my yoke, learn of me, and you'll find rest for your souls. The word of comfort. I'm human, he said. I know what you're going through. Trust me.